In the history of wars, there are days that change the course of nations, and there are days that rewrite history entirely. June 6, 1944. A day unlike any other. While the world was plunged into the darkness of Nazi occupation, Britain was transforming into a massive arsenal, and generals were putting the final touches on the largest military operation known to man. More than 150,000 soldiers and thousands of ships and planes awaited a single signal from one man, General Dwight Eisenhower. Today, we will dive into the details of Operation Overlord, the full story of the day the Atlantic Wall fell. Before the first ship even moved, the war began in the mines. The Allies launched Operation Fortitude, the greatest deception in history. They created phantom armies of inflatable tanks and wooden airfields to convince Hitler that the attack would take place in the Pas-de-Calais region, and they succeeded brilliantly. But the biggest enemy was not the Germans, it was the weather. In early June, fierce storms battered the English Channel, making the invasion impossible. The operation was postponed and anxiety prevailed. In a historic moment, while meteorologists were predicting a brief lull, Eisenhower uttered his famous words, "Okay, let's go." The unstoppable military machine was set in motion. Hours before the ships reached the shores, the skies of France were filled with thousands of paratroopers from the US 101st and 82nd Airborne Divisions and the British 6th Airborne Division. These men jumped into pitch darkness behind enemy lines. Chaos reigned supreme. Paratroopers landed in swamps where they drowned due to their heavy gear, while others landed in the middle of German-occupied villages. Despite this chaos, or perhaps because of it, German commanders panicked. The paratroopers cut telephone lines, blew up bridges, and distracted German reinforcements, paving the way for what was to come, the hell coming from the sea. With the first rays of dawn, the fleet appeared on the horizon. 5 beaches were designated for the landing: Utah, Gold, Juno, Sword, and Omaha Beach. At Utah, the landing was successful with minimal casualties, but at Omaha, the situation was entirely different. Imagine the scene. The moment the ramps of the landing craft lowered, bullets from the German MG-42 machine guns rained down. Soldiers stepped out only to find themselves in water, crimson with their own blood, running without cover amidst iron obstacles and mines. Here, heroism was displayed in its finest form. Ordinary soldiers refused to surrender, scaling the rocky cliffs with their bare hands and blowing up German bunkers one by one. Omaha Beach was the ultimate test of willpower.
While the world was burning, there was one question. Where was the German response? Strangely enough, Adolf Hitler was asleep at his mountain residence, and none of his aides dared to wake him to request the deployment of the panzer divisions. As for Commander Erwin Rommel, who was responsible for the defense, he was in Germany celebrating his wife's birthday. When the German command finally woke up, it was too late. They hesitated to send reinforcements, believing that Normandy was merely a diversion and that the real attack would be in Calais. This German hesitation was the gift the Allies needed to secure their foothold.
By the evening of June 6th, the Allies had achieved the impossible. More than 150,000 soldiers were on French soil. Yes, the price was high. More than 4,000 dead in a single day, but Hitler's boasted Atlantic Wall had been broken. From this point, the march toward Paris and then Berlin began. The question was no longer, will the Nazis be defeated? But rather, when? Normandy was the first and biggest nail in the coffin of the Third Reich. Today, the beaches of Normandy are filled with tourists and tranquility, but beneath those sands lie the stories of thousands of young people who sacrificed everything for a freedom they never saw. The Normandy Landings were not just a military operation, but a lesson that unity against injustice can achieve miracles. If you liked this historical narrative, don't forget to support us by subscribing and activating the bell. And tell us in the comments, what is the next battle whose secrets you would like us to reveal?